You are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxshall, in which I chronicle my life and attempts to become a professional writer by, doing some writing daily, hopefully. Hello and welcome to my daily update. Well, I've actually spent a little bit of time in the last couple of days now going through the Writers and the Artists Yearbook from 2022. I think there are probably two more recent editions available, but I'm not convinced they're going to have that many more agencies listed in them. They may do, but I seem to be going quite well. So I've got about a dozen pages of the agencies to get through now, and what I've been doing is just making a note of the ones that sound interested in new writers, and I'm quite pleased so far because I found twice as many as I can submit to on the first instance. So I bought myself an app called Story Tracker, which enables me to track basically, so it has two you can enter in all your pieces of work. So I've entered in Still Life and The English Hikikomori. I'm not quite sure why, because Still Life technically needs that final draft working through. As I've said a couple of times before, it's not a big job. I could probably knock it off in a few days. In fact, I probably need to set myself a deadline around that, because I do tend to do things when I set myself deadlines. But yeah, so maybe I should look at getting that done by the end of June or something like that. But yeah, so you enter the stories in one tab, and then the next tab is markets, and there you literally put in anywhere you can sell it, whether it's magazines, whether it's sending it to an agency, and I'm not going to name any of them at this point, but I have gone through this book and I have already identified 6 agencies that seem interested in submissions from new writers, which is really encouraging. So my plan is over the next couple of days to keep going through the list of agencies in detail, make a note of all the ones that, as I say, seem interested in new writers, and once I've got that list, I think you can only submit to 2 or 3 at a time. I'm going to go for 3, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all the information from the yearbook about those agencies into like one document. That's so much easier these days, because I can literally, thanks to the way technology is so good now, I can literally just take a photograph of the entry using my phone and then copy and paste the text from the photograph into a document. So that's what I'll do, is I'll just get a list of all the agencies that have expressed an interest in new writers, put them into one file, and then I'm going to basically discuss them with a couple of people, including my friend Tani, who was good enough to chat with me on here a few days ago, and then just see which ones look like they're the best fit for what it is I want to do, because as well as obviously looking at the actual fact that they want to take new people on, I need to look at the genres as well, whether I think it's a fit for me. So for example, I haven't found this yet, but if in sentence 1 it says interested in working with new authors, and sentence 2 is it specialises in non-fiction, well, I'm not non-fiction, so there's no point in doing that. But no, so it's a very encouraging start. I've got 6 on the list. I'll probably end up being maybe not quite a dozen, maybe 8, 9 or 10, something like that, I think, once I've finished it. And what I like about the app is you can put all the information in. So picking one at random here, I've got their address, I've got their website, I have looked at a couple of the websites, some of them look really interesting, there's email addresses, and the next bit is submission guidelines. So different agencies have different requirements from any author. So some will, not many, but I've seen a couple that want the whole manuscript, but the majority want a cover letter and a sample, which is, it's 30 pages, 50 pages, 3 chapters. That the individual agency will tell you exactly what they want. and yeah, so that, and then most of them want a synopsis of the full story as well. So that's something I'm going to have to do. So I think I'd originally said a few days ago I need to get it all submitted by the end of tomorrow. Not going to happen, but that's fine as long as I'm progressing forward. So by the end of tomorrow, I will have a list of agencies. I'm then away for 6 days. I'm working, so I will do this podcast, but it may not be as focused as it has been the last few days. Because I'm spending one night in Berlin, 2 nights in London, 1 night in Edinburgh, and 1 night somewhere else. I've forgotten where it is. That exciting. There's one. Is it Switzerland? Oh, I can't. Anyway, so yeah, see, told you about focus. So I am working from the 1st to the 6th. So the next days where I can really get on with it are the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So the 7th, 8th, and 9th are going to be the days where I start. I think we'll choose the agency or the agencies that I'm going to submit to, and then start putting together the things I need, like a cover letter. I do like the Writers and Artists Yearbook because it's got a whole chapter on do's and don'ts when contacting agencies. I haven't read that bit yet, but once I've selected my agencies, I will do that. So although it feels like slow progress, it is progress, and I will get back to you soon when I have anything more to say. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxall. Thank you for tuning in to my random ramblings, and if you'd like to know more about me or my projects, visit my Linktree at linktr.ee/Richard Wright, capital R, capital W. Thank you for listening.